Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, it is always very encouraging for us when new institutions of higher education are established in our country to cater to the growing aspirations, the tremendous potential, and the vast needs of our youthful population. The future is theirs, and it is for us to help shape it through creating quality institutions such as the IITs and the NITs. To this extent, the amendment to the National Institutes of Technology, Science Education and Research Bill 2016 to add the NIT in Andhra Pradesh to the schedule of the Parent Act of 2007 is something we welcome as a party, and if I may say so, in my personal capacity as a former Minister of State, the Ministry of Human Resource Development. However, it is also my duty as a parliamentarian to bring to the attention of this House the complete disregard of this government for the principle of quality in its quest for mere quantity. What, for instance, is the current state of this very NIT in Andhra Pradesh that we are discussing here today? The NIT with 900 students already, as the minister told us, functions out of a temporary campus. There are no laboratories, there are no libraries, there are no high quality IT or engineering tools for training. Can you imagine an engineering college without a functioning laboratory or library books? The fact is that there is an acute shortage of infrastructure in terms of accommodation as well. We have a very situation where we have created an institution which was not ready to be launched, but in a haste to put the foundation stone as announced, they have gone ahead. The result is, even to stay, there is a girls' hostel functioning, but the boys are accommodated in a village somewhere else. The NIT has been permitted to commence activities, but do we want shells of institutions, Mr. Minister, or path breaking resource centers that would truly make a difference? I want to contrast this to what we have just seen in my constituency 2 weeks ago when a fully functioning central polytechnic, the best known in Kerala, established in 1949, was derecognized by the AICTE in your ministry for not fulfilling a list of conditions that they deemed had to be fulfilled. If that same list were applied to the new NIT in Andhra Pradesh, it would have been derecognized by the same AICTE. So the problem in our system is that our higher education is over-regulated and under-governed. We really need to focus on what the purpose of education is, how we bring about learning outcomes for our children, and not focus irrelevantly on excessive regulation. There is a larger problem that is hidden behind this bill. Even our premier IITs are facing today a shortage of trained faculty. According to the government's own figures, it is about 42% in the IITs, but in the NITs, the shortage is now in the glaring vicinity of 50% of the authorized faculty. There are no teachers and students are being herded into half-built campuses with half the faculty strength to receive an education that can only be called half-baked. Frankly, this is inadequate. We cannot run education like this. On top of that, employers across the board are complaining about the unemployability of Indian graduates. A recent FICCI survey shows a figure of 62% of employers are dissatisfied with the quality of our engineering graduates. This is a fact. In fact, I have spoken to many CEOs, as I am sure you have done. Infosys and Tatas and so on have set up their own campuses to train the people they have already hired after an engineering degree, not for the on job training but to make up for the deficiencies of the education we are giving them in our engineering colleges. They are getting 9 months to 1 year of new education because our education is not good enough. Of course, they are paying teachers better. So many teachers are leaving and going to Tatas and Infosys and companies like that rather than staying in the NITs and coming to the IITs. Yes, we are proud of our IITs. There is no problem there, but these are largely islands of excellence floating in a sea of mediocrity. The truth is, we have to be conscious that NITs live up to the standard that their name implies. The fact is that in our haste to add more on paper, we must not lose sight of the fact that these institutions are meant to set new and higher standards. If your walls are not solid and you have no teachers to set the right intellectual standards, it will collapse. It is not just the building that will collapse, but also it will take with it the future and the prospects of the bright young people who are going to build the India of tomorrow.